Hello, it's Ashley here from Paper&Twine, and sorry the light is fading as I'm filming this. It's Friday afternoon. It has been another glorious sunny day, although a little bit cold. I didn't manage to get out today, but I did go for a lovely walk yesterday. Anyway, I'm coming on to do a tutorial, hopefully. But before I get into it, I just want to thank Monika Weclewska. Very remiss of me. She did a giveaway challenge before Christmas. Just before Christmas, you had to make a wrap for a box of 8 Ferrero Rochers, and she did a tutorial on her channel and invited people to submit their own, and she would pick a winner. I couldn't find any boxes of 8 Ferrero Rochers, so I bought one of the plastic ones with 16 in and made my own box, which I made into a little suitcase, which I think I've shared on my channel. And I entered the challenge and I won one of the prizes, and it did arrive very quickly at the beginning of the year. And a little note on here: dear Ashley, thank you for taking part in my YouTube challenge. I hope you will like this stamp set. Best wishes, Monika. And it is a really lovely stamp set. It is Signature Collection by Sarah Davies for Crafter's Companion. And this is called Vintage Diary, and I shall really enjoy using this. I will link Monika's channel down below. If you don't know her, she's the most amazing crafter. She's on the design team for Relatively Thoughtful. I am currently a guest designer for that company, and yes, I'm hopefully going to do some more designing for them soon. But I will link Monika's channel down below. As I say, she's really talented. Beautiful style of work. I tagged her in the 10-day art challenge, which is currently running on Facebook, and what she's submitted so far is just been stunning. So yeah, go and check her out if you don't know her. So thank you very much for that, Monika. I shall look forward to using that. And I did a flick through earlier this week of Creative Stamping issue 104. I've got 5 designs featured in the magazine. I had to do some 3D makes, or off the page makes as they call them, and I said if anybody wanted any tutorials to let me know, and you were all very kind and said you'd like to know how to make everything. But by far the most popular was this origami vase. So I had great fun making this, and I hope I can remember how to make it. In the magazine I used this paper. This is my prototype. There's 2 layers here. As you can see, this is just 120 GSM paper, but it's really sturdy. And I chose this dark blue paper because I hadn't used it for any of the other projects, I don't believe. I used a little bit of it on the stationery caddy, but to me it suggested waves, and I liked the idea of the koi carp. I mean, I know koi carp don't live in the sea, but water anyway. I like the idea of punching a little hole in his tail and threading him on the twine as a little bit of decoration around the top. So that was the idea behind that. This is a modular make, and you can make it as tall or as shallow as you like. I mean, this would make a really nice little pot on your desk for little bits and pieces, little doodads. Yes, so I have chosen to use this cherry blossom paper. There are 6 downloads on Craft World, so head on over there and choose which ones you like and print them off. The paper I'm using is 120 GSM. If you want to make 4 layers like I am, you will need 17 squares of paper. And I've gone ahead and cut mine to size already. I'm using a 3.5 inch square. And you're going to need to make 1 base piece, and you do that simply by folding in half. And again, accuracy is key. Everything's falling over. So fold it in half, unfold it, and I don't know why there's a crease on that already. I think my printer's chewing up the paper. And then fold it in half again, making sure that you're as accurate as you can possibly be. Of course, I might not have cut these terribly accurately, but we will see. Then you take the 4 corners and you fold them into the center and unfold. and I'm creating lots of shadow. I am sorry, I should have done this way earlier, but I've been busy today. After completing 2 craft submissions for magazines, 11 projects, my craft room was a complete and utter tip. So I have spent a couple of hours this morning having a good old sort out and tidy up and a little bit of a clean. Still need to hoover, but we'll do that another day. So there is our base, and we're just going to leave that to one side for the moment. Now, to make the side pieces, these are all made in the same way. So I'm going to fold on the diagonal like so. And what I like to do to try and get a crisp point is make sure that these corners meet here, and then kind of just tease these other corners in place, and then I can burnish. You can see it's not terribly accurate there, but it's near as damn it. So yes, you fold like that, and then bring these up like so, and like so, and then I'm going to unfold it to show you what score lines we've got. So we've got a horizontal on the diagonal here, and we've got this X shape going across. What you want to do now is bring this corner into the middle, and this corner into the middle like so. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this back on itself and fold that up like that, so that I've got that arrangement going on. And I'm going to turn my paper over, okay, and I'm going to do that 16 times. For each layer you will need 4 of these squares folded in exactly the same way. And oh, you see, I didn't do that very accurately, did I? You really do not want to use double-sided paper for this, because you are not going to see the interior. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue folding all of these pieces. You don't need to see me do that, do you really? Or do you want to see me do that? So I'm unfolding, folding this into the center like so, center like so, folding in half, folding that back on itself, and refolding on the diagonal, so that I've got that kind of thing going on. It's helpful that you can see the white. It will help you. Yes, it will help you, definitely, most definitely. So I'm going to carry on folding, and I'll come back to you when I've done it all. So we've got all of our little pieces of paper folded now, and we need to create a layer. So just to recap on the fold, so this is what your piece of paper looks like. You're going to fold that up and that down like so. And for each layer you need 4 pieces, and I'm going to put some glue on here. You don't need to, actually, you can just slot this together without glue, but this will just ensure that it is a bit sturdier and sticks in place. So we're just going to do that and slide that in there like so. And you can see that we've got the white triangle showing underneath. And just give that time. I'm not entirely happy with this glue, you know, but that's for another day. And again, making sure we've got the white triangle underneath. I'm just going to add some glue to this. Front and back. And just making sure that you've got an accurate, or as accurate as you can, join there, because you want to get the nice angular shape if you can. Just going to burnish that down. And the final one, making sure I've got the triangle the right way round. Don't know why this isn't wanting to come out very well. And slot that last one in. Like so. Again, just making sure that it folds nicely on that diagonal. And then you're going to bring these in like so to join and make the fourth side of this layer. And again, accuracy is key. You want to line that up nicely. And then I'm just going to actually go in with my bone folder and just, now I can put a little bit of glue underneath. I'm just going to give that time to set a little bit. And that is your first layer complete. And you're going to do the same with the others, but beforehand you're going to glue like so. This is your base piece, and you're going to slot it in on all four sides. And there you've got your base. Now I'm going to add some glue to the bottom here on these little tabs, just to anchor that down. And as you're gluing in place, just take the time to form your base so that all of your lines meet nicely. So now I've joined all my bits together, you can see I've done this one the wrong way. It doesn't really matter, but it might cause me problems down the line, so we'll leave that one till last. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add glue to these white tabs and then just attach to the triangles here to form the next layer. And you're going to need to kind of bend and shape as you go, but you're trying to get this kind of angular shape here. Sorry, trying to get into shot for you. So I'll put you on fast forward while I do this. You'll see me struggle probably. So it's a couple of days later now, and you saw me have a bit of trouble with my glue there. I don't know what it is about this glue. I don't like it as much as the Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue. The one benefit of it is though that it does dry completely matte, and if you do have any oozage it doesn't seem to show. Once it is stuck it is fairly strong, and this structure is surprisingly strong. You can see that I made a mistake with my last layer, and you can see the underside of the paper, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, if you wanted to you could, yeah, it doesn't really matter. But what we're going to do, we're going to just decorate the vase a little bit now. So I've gone ahead already and I've heat embossed using Twilight, Versafine Clair Twilight, the cherry blossom from the set. I do like this very much, and I'm just going to do a bit of watercolouring with some distress inks. So I've got Kitsch Flamingo, Picked Raspberry and Festive Berries, and I've got Mowed Lawn for my leaves and stalks. I've got an acrylic block, and I've just stamped this on a bit of card. What should we do first? Let's do the leaves first, I think, and then we can get rid of the green, can't we, altogether? So just squeeze a bit of water on there and just do a bit of colouring. So I've got a very fine brush, I think it's a size 0, and I'm just going to do these little bits here. I hope I'm in shot for you. Being left-handed, I do cover up my work as I go, which can be problematic for you guys, I guess. But you don't have to do this. You know, You can embellish your vase as you see fit or leave it plain. But I just thought I wanted to do a little bit of watercolouring. Now, this piece is too long for the height of the vase. So I'm going to do something that I did for the wall hanging project. I'm going to cut it down a little bit. And I'm not the best colourist, as you know, but heat embossing this does kind of help stay in the lines, says she, going outside of the line. I'm very tired actually. Mr. Paper&Twine and I, it's Sunday afternoon as I'm filming this now, about 1:45 I think. Mr. Paper&Twine and I have been for a walk for a couple of hours today, which made a nice change, and it was a lovely morning, very bright. It was quite cold, but it was lovely and bright and sunny. And now we've come back, I've just had a lovely cup of tea, and it has clouded over and there have been some spots of rain, so we definitely got the best of the day, that's for sure. Just trying to add a little bit of depth of colour here, and I'm using the Distress ink rather than oxides, because the oxides are lovely to paint with, but they give a bit more of a chalky finish, whereas these are kind of more like watercolours, I think. It's hard to see what's a petal and what's a leaf. Yes, we had a plan. If you follow me on Instagram, a while ago I put a photograph up of a cooked breakfast that we had at a cafe that we discovered on the canal. It's on the Oxford Canal, and it was a really good breakfast. Very well cooked, good quality ingredients, and it certainly filled us up and was very good value for money. And we thought we'd walk there, it's about 2.5 miles there, have cooked breakfast and then walk back. And yeah, we did. But when we got there was a bloke coming out in his car, and he said all the cafes closed for refurbishment, so we'd walked all that way. It's like, and Pete said, oh, I'll cook us a breakfast at home. And I said, no, I don't want to go home for breakfast, I want to go out. So we walked back along the canal, which I've never done before. It's very muddy, but very pretty in places. I should have some scrap cards, shouldn't I, to mop this green up? Never mind. Yeah, it's very muddy in places, but very pretty in places as well. And we just went to, there's a harvester, and we'd missed breakfast. I think we got there at about 11:45, and they stopped serving breakfast at 11:30, so that was a bit of a shame. Now, I don't know whether to go light to dark or dark to light on this. I think we'll do a little bit of, yeah, just a little bit of, I think what I'll do, I'll put you on fast forward. proper horrible out now. It's really raining, so I'm glad we went out when we did. Anyway, you saw me colour in there and did a bit of fussy cutting, not brilliantly. Might have another little go at that bit there actually, but I don't want these too kind of fussy because they're going to hang down from the edge of our vase. So yeah, so you can see this is the full image and I've just kind of hacked into it to make it a bit smaller. I could cut there a bit as well, but do you know what, I can't be bothered today. But what I am going to do is get my little 1/8 of an inch hole punch, and I'm going to just punch a hole there and a hole there, so we can thread these. Oh gosh, don't know why that struggled to get through one layer of card. So we can thread these through our twine. So I bring in the vase, and I'm using this antique French linen twine, which is very fine, and I'm just going to keep wrapping it around the top of my vase in kind of like a haphazard fashion, but try and get round that cuff. I'm going to leave that so I can thread things on and tie a bow. I'm just going to go round again. Obviously you don't have to do this, you can leave your vase plain, but I think that's probably enough. Cut off there. Let's thread you on. I think we'll have you that way. Like so. And then we'll have you there, like so. And then side here we will tie a knot, and I think I'm going to thread a couple of beads on the ends. Don't know where these little seed beads came from, but I do like them. Let's put a couple of blue ones on, I think, to match the blue of the paper. Now, obviously, I've used the paper that came free as a download with the magazine. You can use whatever paper you have in your stash. I'm going to have difficulty threading this on. You could do it to match your decor. And you could do different sizes and different heights for things that don't need a lot of water. So those air plants that you can get, cacti and succulents that don't need a lot of water. But I am going to use a jar. Let's go for this colour, I think. See if we can get you threaded on. I'm going to use a jar filled with water to actually put some little flowers inside. And how cute would this be for a hostess gift if you're going to somebody's for supper or for dinner and you want to take them a little something? You could make one of these to match their home decor and fill a little jam jar or a little sauce jar. I think mine was a pesto jar, with flowers out of your garden if you're a keen gardener. How thoughtful and kind would that be? I think that would be a lovely thing to do. Tidying up as I go along. There is my jar. I haven't look, see, it was pesto rosso. I haven't taken the label off, but that sits inside there. I'm going to put some water in and some flowers. I'll be back in a minute. So there we are. The vase isn't as good as the one I made for the magazine. I really did have trouble with that glue, but give this a go and let me know what you think. I'm really pleased with that. And these flowers are the ones that Victoria Foley, one of my subscribers, gifted me. I came home to them on New Year's Eve, and here we are, the 16th of January. So it's over 2 weeks later, and they're still going strong. These are just a couple that I've taken out of the main vase, which is on the kitchen windowsill. And the pink flowers here pick up nicely on the pink flowers here. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. It's been a bit long-winded, I know, and I will be back soon. If you like this content, please like, share, subscribe, do all the lovely YouTube stuff, and I'll be back very soon. Bye now.